In order to stand with us and people that look like me, you have to be educated on issues that pertain to me and fully educated so that you can feel the full level of pain, so that you can have full understanding.
For the majority of my life, silence has been my go-to position, even if I had a strong opinion. On Facebook, I'm just Lee. I can say what I want. On Twitter, I'm reminded to stay in my lane, but losing followers is not a huge deal. Here on YouTube, I understand you don't come to me for anything other than positivity about movies. And I don't want to lose you as a subscriber. I understand that I might. But if you have to go, I would just ask that you hear me out. Black people's lives shouldn't be political. It should just be a human issue. There's nothing political about listening when an entire community of people tells us something is wrong and cries out for our help. We have failed them. I have failed them for far too long. But honestly, I have no answers. I've talked academically about this topic in past videos, but the reason I'm not making a regular video this week and the reason I am making this video is to amplify other voices that do have some answers. If you'll only take one recommendation from me, watch Emmanuel Acho's video. You may have already seen it. If not, there's a link in the description for both the video and his Twitter. And he's planning to make it a series. It answers questions that I have absolutely asked at one time or another throughout my life. If you want more videos to watch, there's a whole playlist in the description that I literally just took from John Green's last Vlogbrothers video because everything in it is amazing. I'd actually also recommend Marques Brownlee's video that he put out today. And one of the things he mentions is don't subscribe to channels just to subscribe to them. And I'm saying definitely don't do it out of a sense of guilt because you can end up just suppressing the channel if you subscribe and don't watch their content. Subscribe to Black creators that are creating things you're interested in. And whether you're someone questioning whether systemic racism is real or you're an activist hoping to do more, the best advice I can give you is to educate yourself and those around you. If you're not sure where all the outrage is coming from, it's a long story, and I think a great place to start is Ta-nehisi Coates' book, Between the World and Me. It's written as a letter to his son and explains parts of American history through a new lens. And it's actually on a list made by anti-racist researcher Victoria Alexander, link for her Twitter in the description, which has books for beginners, intermediates, and then specific topics. Also, if you're going to buy these books, consider Black-owned bookstores. If you're looking for someone to follow on Twitter who can give you an educational perspective on whatever is happening in the world right now, Michael Harriot has opened my eyes to so many things. On Instagram, I really love The Conscious Kid, but it's targeted a little more towards parenting. Tarana J. Burke is a great follow for more general education. Our education can never really end, and mine is barely just beginning. And if you're lost for how else to help, I know it's not an easy time financially, with so many people still without jobs, but if you have the means, donate to some of these causes. There's a link to a complete list in the description. Julia and I have given to several. The ones I'd like to draw attention to are the National Police Accountability Project, which is a nonprofit group of lawyers who do exactly what the name says, hold officers accountable and work to end police brutality. There is the Lake Street Council, which donates 100% of funds to help rebuild small businesses on Minneapolis's Lake Street, and then any bail funds for protesters. There are lots to choose from. No one should be stuck in jail for exercising their First Amendment right. Lots of people are being arrested for just being present at protests right now or being out a few minutes past curfew across the country. Take in as much literature from Black authors, social media from Black educators, also social media from non-educational Black people. They'll always offer a perspective on events and issues that you may not have considered. And as white people, we need to evaluate the ways we can be anti-racist. Everyone's non-silence looks different. No one is saying you need to grab a bullhorn. And if I can offer a personal bit of advice to white people, be patient and kind with your friends and family that aren't where you are. Pushing them away or alienating them does nothing good for you, them, or the movement. Just use the resources available to you. But now, and every day after today, silence is not an option. There are not enough Black people, or any marginalized group for that matter, to do this themselves. As the majority, we need to help. For Julia and I, going to rallies and protests, teaching Jude to be anti-racist, making this video, it's all just the bare minimum of a beginning, but we all have to start somewhere.